Hi guys, I'm proud to be on part two because I know how much you want to learn about how to vote. So yeah, I was talking about my mic was working, by the way. It was the green monitor thing wasn't going in underneath, so I might have been talking 20 minutes to myself for nothing when I know I want to pass on my wisdom. So yeah, I've got a few other. I'm looking at Europe elects now on Twitter, as we call it. Yeah, there was a poll from one group, are known as Labour voters. Usually they'd be, I think, about 95% or whatever. Personally, I think they're going to lose. Labour are going to lose them anyway, and it's just happened at this time. But at this election, this was a More in Common poll. The company called More in Common. Voting intention: Labour 57%, Greens 10%, Tory 7%, Lib Dem 7%, Reform 6%, but it doesn't have the Workers' Party in there or Independents. So that's not. I mean, really, how many is missing there? 67, 81, 87%. That is, so another 13% of. Well, the Greens were only 10% there. I said earlier that I thought they were 19% in a poll, but yeah, so I certainly like the Greens on one issue, yeah, stance, which I'm sympathetic about as well, but it's not something we can discuss, So I'll look at the rest. I'll look at your elects now for see what else I've got going. I mean, I'm not a great fan of your elects, but it's all we've got. So even the MPs follow it, because they've got probably as well. I mean, I know that's another thing. I think everyone should do YouGov polls and panel based and all that, because most of you only get to vote once every 5 years. So the only way you can really make your opinion felt is through these polls. And they do notice them, but it is a ridiculous statement. We only get to vote once every 5 years for a party hamper. That's another thing I hate. We're voting for party hampers like 20 mile an hour, which we didn't even know was in the thingy. But whoever's bringing that forward is saying the people voted for us and this is what they want. Whereas the voters are like, what? I don't know. I mean, I think in the petition, 500,000 wrote for that or something against it. Okay, let's look at more polls. Yeah, I'm just looking for interesting polls, really, because I mean, seats is what it's all about, but really, I go by the percentages. I mean, that's what annoys me in the voting election is if you don't vote for the winner of your local area and they get in easily, if it's a safe seat, your vote doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you go or not. But so that's why we've got to have proportional representations so that everyone's vote counts, no matter if they're voting for the raving Linney Party or whatever, Yeah. I'm just looking at here's so Europe elects polling average for the 3rd of July, they're saying, is Labour 39%. This is a poll of polls. It's 21% in aggregation. Reform 16%, Lib Dems 12, Greens 6, SNP 3. So I've not put the Workers' Party in there again. But the interesting thing about that is Labour definitely slipping down in general. I mean, they didn't do very well in the council elections. I mean, they won most seats in council elections in England in May, but they didn't do as well as expected. They only got 35% or something. Like I say, Jeremy Corbyn got 40% in 2017, It looks as if Keir's not going to beat that, and he's going to have twice the amount of MPs. Main reason for that is the Tories have sunk. I mean, they get 43% in 2017. I think Jeremy Corbyn's 2017 vote, he get more than any Tony Blair's majorities in terms of percent. I'm not sure about that. Maybe Tony beat it once, 97. But even Jeremy's second at 32%, he's one of the highest for Labour over the last 50 years or something. I mean, Neil Kinnock's might even be the highest, because so many turned out for him in 92 or Labour. But so many turned out for Tories to keep Neil Kinnock out as well. That's what happens quite a lot. If there's a big turnout, it means that both sides have turned out to try and stop the other or whatever, you know. The only time it didn't happen really was, well, not only time, but it was on Tony Blair, where apparently they tell you that Tories just didn't bother voting. And when you look at how many turned out for some in 2001 was very low. I think it was about 65% or something. And John Prescott was told to make democracy more popular, but he didn't suggest proportional representation. He brought in mayors and constable, electing your constable or whatever, your police commissioner. Mainly brought in mayors, I think. They didn't do anything about the first past the post because they both like it, basically. So, yeah. Let's see if I can find any more decent polls. Here's one for you, Gov. I'm just looking. This one's got Labour with, I can't even say what, 53%, Tories 14%, Greens 14%, Lib Dem 6%, Reform 7%, SNP 0%, and other 5%. And that'll be independents, probably no issue, but it'll turn out to be a collection of issues which their core voters can relate to. Yeah. I'll look at another poll. Yeah, this is 16 to 17-year-olds. Westminster voting intention, and it's by GA Partners polls. This is 16 to 17-year-olds, so they can't vote yet. Labour 39%, Reform 20%, Green 18%, Lib Dem 9%, Tories 5%. So that goes to show you Labour can't count on 16 to 17-year-olds, really, doesn't it? 23% for this Reform, that's incredible. I mean, that's more than they might get all in all, but yeah. I've got no comment to make. Well, I can't really see anything else. I'll check the Daily Mail again and see if there's we all read the Daily Mail, we've got to be honest with ourselves. Although I don't open that this election, the Daily Express have been a bit better even just for stories. But well, if you're voting anyway, you've only got 2 hours anyway. As I say, I think it should be e-voting. You can vote up to the last second, change your vote. I mean, postal voting, a lot of them are probably in last week or the week before even. A lot of people are on holiday and won't get a vote at all. Nobody cares. I think after the election, certainly Nigel said he's going to make a big fuss that it should be proportional representation. I totally agree with him. Last time they had the vote, 2011, they had a referendum. the Lib Dems asked for that as part of their agreement to be part of the government. And but it was a really bad system that Tories suggested, additional member. The Lib Dems took it because they just thought, well, we'll just get something going anyway. But then we had a referendum and it was about 70% were against. And ironically, a lot of them are probably reform voters now, that 70%. Now they'd be for it. So really, the public, I can never judge the public on common sense, really. To me, proportional representation is because everyone's vote's got to count, you know. There's no point being in a safe seat where your vote doesn't matter. You know, everyone's vote's got to count, even if it's for the Craving Looney Party or whatever. So, and we've got it up here in Scotland with our regional vote. It's not totally PR, but it's as close as you can get. The way they calculate it is, but yeah, they use a DeHunt thing. But for the regional, that's the more interesting vote for me, rather than a constituency. We get that as well for half of them. You know, and Gordon Brown was saying he's always been dead against proportional representation. He was saying, I think there might be a case now for a role in it, like they have in Scotland. But have you ever seen him talking about first past the post? He was always dead certain. He was always saying it wasn't his opinion. He was telling you it was fact that it was right. And then he's changed his mind. But that's what he's always been like. Tony Blair was saying, yeah, I recognise that sort of stubbornness, you know. Yeah, he was saying that constituencies so that the MPs got a connection with the local area. But if you didn't vote for your MP and you voted for someone else, are you going to want to write to them, or are you going to want to write to one of your Holyrood regional things that other of the party that you voted for? You know? Like I say, I think we should be the Swiss election anyway, where there's loads of referendums, quarterly referendums. The public can do petitions and get referendums quarterly done, especially on big issues. You know, like that. Should 16 to 17-year-olds be allowed to vote? That should be our referendum. Kate probably just bring it in. He might scrap it because of YouGov polls. It's not popular. But yeah. So I'll just round it up then. I think I'm going to go crazy and I'm going to say it'll be a hung parliament. Labour will get about 320 votes. They'll be 6 seats short. I think Reform will do really well. They'll get 22, 23%. Tories might get 20%. But because of that, Tories will get a lot more seats rather than Reform because of the way the system works. So Labour, Tories will get 120. No, I don't know. I feel that Tories are going to do really bad and be around about 50 seats, maybe. And then Reform will be about 150, I'm going to say. I think really they might be about 10, but I'm going to say they break through that barrier and they get 150. Lib Dems, I think, are going to do terrible. They're going to get about 15 seats. But people are saying they're going to get 70 seats or 50. So the Greens, I think, do terrible percent. But they might get about 3 seats. They might get that one in Bristol Central. They'll probably get Brighton again. And they might get another one somewhere in London, maybe. Especially because of that war that's going on. And yeah, Keir will maybe lose his seat to, I think it's the Workers' Party. And quite a few Labour MPs might lose their seat actually to Workers' Party or Independents, who are all angry about the war and that, because they're concentrated areas. So yeah, West Streeting might lose his seat. I hope so. Keir, it'd be great if Keir lost his seat. That would be really good. I don't know, Jeremy Corbyn, somebody done a poll and he was way behind the Labour. He was like 29, the Labour was 43 or something. But the bookies seem to think it's neck and neck. I don't know, I think Jeremy may be able to get in. Because I just don't think there's an appetite for Labour. So I think everybody's over-predicting. I mean, who likes Keir? I don't think the left like him. I don't think the right like him either. So yeah, we'll just need to wait then. I'll wrap it up with that. So I'm saying hung Parliament, Labour 320 seats, Reform 150, Tories 50, Lib Dems 15, Greens 3, Workers' Party 5. Maybe Independents might get 5. SNP, they'll get a bigger percent than Labour in Scotland, but they might get less seats. So Labour will get 28 seats. SNP will get 25. Tories 5. Lib Dems 1. And Alba 0. Yeah, that's all I can. I've tried to advise best as I could, but I'm trying to stay, not getting barred as well. So it's all very hard to juggle. All right, cheerio.